Değerli izleyiciler, bugün Hindistan'dan bir konuğumuz var, Bombay'dan. Onunla sohbet edeceğiz ama öncesinde size Türkçe anlatayım istedim. Konumuz Reverse Migration by Future Technologies. Konuğumuz da Doktor Tasvif Malik. Şimdi biraz sonra onu davet edeceğim ve İngilizce konuşacağız. Lütfen yazın. Konumuz yine ilginç. Bizi takip etmeye devam edin. Let me switch to English now. Dr. Tasvif Malik, good morning and good day, dear audiences and Dr. Malik. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. And good morning and
good morning. So let me introduce a little bit about Dr. Tasvif Malik. He's also my old friend, also my old colleague. Creator of the world's largest crypto mining program. So I'm trying to understand his career. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me, okay? And also his All India Muslim Business Startup Network. What is that, Tasvif? Please a little bit explain what the titles means.
Titles actually doesn't mean anything to me because my surname is Malik. Malik means the king. So if your title is Malik, you don't need anything else. And my mother name is Razia Sultan. So Razia Sultan was a queen, right?
Yeah.
And my mother's mother name was Shahzadi. Shahzadi is also princess, and she was real princess.
Yes.
So for me, actually, titles actually don't mean anything.
Yes, interesting. So actually, what do you do in India? You are investor or angel investor? What do you do actually?
I'm originally from India, but now I'm American citizen, but I've come back to India again.
Yeah, I know that.
And I'm a social entrepreneur because, you know, there is NGOs, the result is not coming out. There's capital becoming crony capitalism. So the best way is social enterprise, where you want to empower people and also make money out of it. So everyone making money is good for the country, good for the economy and everything. So I follow the social enterprise format. And what I try to do is I run networks. And when I was in America, I started something called community-based spelling bee called Muslim Spelling Bee Competition. The reason I wanted to do is I wanted to get the Muslim kids into the mainstream spelling bee competition. That's one. And worldwide, there is a concept of Muslim consumer. Our economy right now is $5 trillion. Very huge. And in fact, Turkey is one of the big players in that. In the so that's the huge market. So, and besides Muslim, actually, the mainstream people are actually looking at this $1.8 billion, a 1.8 billion population of Muslims worldwide. So JWT, Ogilvy in 2007-8, they did a research. Now JWT and Ogilvy are worldwide global advertising agencies. And they did a research of American Muslims. And the findings was American Muslim consumer market size in 2007 and 8 was $170 billion. That means it's equal to a country's GDP. Okay. So I use that.
Huge numbers. It's so attractive.
Very attractive. So I'm a business guy at the same time. So I saw this opportunity and I thought doing something for the community also, as I said, social enterprise. So without donation, we ran this spelling bee and we told the community schools to host a program. And there they can have a small bazaar when 1,000 people come to the spelling bee, local, regional, maybe more than that. They can sell food and they can all make money. Small businesses can make money. So the journey started there. Then I enrolled in my PhD program. And in fact, it's very interesting. My PhD guide was also Turkish. Her name is Sama Barlas. Dr. Sama Barlas.
Pardon? Say again, please.
Her name is Dr. Sama Barlas.
Sami Barlas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's an expert on word of mouth.
She is. Okay. Not Sami then. Actually.
Barlas. B-E Barlas, Barlas.
All
So
right,
she's a
let me investigate it later. Okay, which university you stayed?
Argosy University, and now she's in University of Chicago, head of statistics. So when I
I
was
see.
talking to her,
Mm-hmm.
so she told me, Tausif, your background is media, and you should do something on word of mouth, because digitalization will be word of mouth. And I said, yeah, that's exciting. And then my spelling bee had become during that time second largest in America. So I already had data of people from California to New York, from Washington state to Florida. So then I talked to my university guides, and they said, why don't you do that? And I did my research on impact of word of mouth on online purchase of American Muslims, because no one ever did a study on minority people.
Mm-hmm.
And because in America there's a mixed crowd of Muslims, the old African American Muslims, the new converts in Latinas,
Yes,
then
yes,
immigrants,
yes. How
liberal
many years?
Muslim.
How many years did you stay in USA?
From 2007 to 2015.
It's not so long. So you returned to your country and started to do something interesting and unique. So then all the things, this program and network, you set up in India or when you were in USA?
So when the spelling bee became very big, it was nominated to Sheikh Mohammed's Global Islamic Economy Award 3 times. And a lot of people started recognizing our work that, without donation, we are running this thing very well. But unfortunately, why I came back to India, because in America, healthcare is very bad. Uh, uh, uh, Even with insurance, you are like bankrupt. So because both my parents got sick, my father passed away, and then
I
unfortunately my
understand.
mother, so I decided to come back. But while I was with my mother in the hospital, I used to see a show called Shark Tank,
I see.
Dragon's Den. It's a very popular show, and I decided to buy that show. So I approached pictures and that I want to have rights for South Asian countries, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and I'll set up a studio in Dubai. But unfortunately, Sony Pictures said they will not give us India, the Shark Tank show. This is like 5 billionaires sit and you pitch a business. But in doing that, I understood the startup market.
Tausif,
And
I kindly advise a little bit slower because Turkish audiences are also watching you, will watch you. A little bit clear and slower, please. Okay,
so,
I'm sorry, let me remind you again.
okay, no problem. So what we did is I've been a serial entrepreneur, and then when I understood that this market is there, with the working on getting the Shark Tank show to India, but then because we couldn't get India, so we left it. Then because I had done a lot of work on the consumer market, American Muslim consumer market, I thought, why don't I use my knowledge for Indian Muslim consumer market? And 1/5 of India's population is Muslims. So that's a huge market. Okay. And they technically contribute around $1 trillion to the economy, maybe approximately like that.
I see.
But there was no network for Muslim entrepreneurs to network with each other. So I thought, why don't I do 5-star events? I don't like to do cheap stuff. So I went and hired a hotel. And because as I said, I come from a royal family. So, we have some contacts. And then people know our family. So I talked to people. And because of that thing, a lot of people came to our event. And we made this event no lecture, only networking. Exchange business cards, make money. And we did a couple of them since 2016 and a couple of millions of dollars of business. And you won't, Dr. Arzu, 30 to 40% of the attendees are non-Muslims. So I did an analysis. I said, why? He says, at your event, we get cream Muslim crowd. Okay. And this market is huge.
I see.
Now, so this was one foundation of All India Muslim Business Startup Network. The second foundation was we wanted to go to poor schools in Muslim schools in India and tell them you don't need to support on donations, zakat, fitra, sadaqah. Why don't we set up incubation center, acceleration center?
Mm-hmm.
You get ideas, we will get you the funding.
I
So
see.
no charity, all about business. And do business which is easy to do and easy to make money for investor and you.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So initially, one school called Ikra School signed up with us, Mr. Salim Sheikh, and then there is a 41 community school signed up with us. And mashallah, what happened is, I got a lot of poor Muslim women who were the parents of students. I told them, why don't you make a chapati, Indian bread?
Uh-huh.
Bread.
Tasif, by the way, I'm sorry, time is very limited. Sorry. That's why I'm sorry to interrupt you. So I really Turkish audiences worry about the first thing, as you know, the most important topic all over the world. How is COVID-19 status in India right now? Is it under control or not? Hopefully under control.
I really don't know, but our cities are open. Its lockdown is open. People are adhering to social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was telling about this thing, I got involved into blockchain that time when I was doing this All India Muslim Business Startup Network.
Mm-hmm.
And while reading that, I wanted to put blockchain on my network. But then I came to know about, blockchain crypto mining.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, years ago. And I said the best thing is to use technology where people from rural area don't need to come to cities. They can do crypto mining. And I launched that program. It's huge, one of the largest actually. Now, if we could have implemented this program 2 years ago, COVID would have not affected the migrant workers in India, because 60% of Indian cities have migrant workers, and all these migrant workers technically has left the cities. So we have a lot of issues.
Why? Because I think this morning I read a paper called Reverse Migration and Brain Drain. Yeah, I think recently it's quite important topics. So that's why this is the basic idea and basic title of this webinar. What is reverse brain drain actually? If you like, let's start under COVID-19 status. What is reverse brain drain? Let's start from that then.
See, reverse drain is a lot of people who went to Western countries to make a career.
Yes.
So they come again to their homeland. Like I came back to India, right? This is where I was born. So I've come back. So when I come back, I get different ideas from the Western countries and implement it. So it's a good thing when people come back from advanced countries to developing countries, so they can use that knowledge. But that has happened to, I think, 5% of the educated class. But rural population worldwide is coming to cities, and that's putting pressure on cities now.
Yeah.
Like I was in Jakarta last year, and Jakarta is shrinking. It's going down because too much population coming in. So my proposed theory, which since 2 years I've been talking, is why don't we get the workers back to their homeland, rural area, and if they can make same amount of money, it will create sustainable development, and it will get pressure off the governments. Like, see, rural areas everywhere don't get enough funding because there's no population and there's no taxation. So for example, somebody is making $1,000 in Bombay. End of the month, he only saves $25, and he's not even sending money back home. But if he works with $1,000 in his home city, you know how much money he saves? Around $850. That $850, instead of expenditure, becomes investment. So I use one point is crypto mining. And because this theory is very important in COVID right now, because pandemic will emerge now. It's not going to stop. We might be prepared for pandemics, but now we're in a stage where our immunity is down. So any small thing can trigger, pandemic. So the best way is get people back home. Now, a lot of educated people like us, we use work from home. But why don't we create the same opportunity for poor people, uneducated people? And technology has become very cheap now, very like we can't even think 10 years ago you and me can do a Zoom call and record it, right? You needed satellites. Now it's just mobile data. So I'm using future technologies to counter pandemics like COVID-19 now. And if I
So
would
that's
request,
why they are returning home. They are returning home because there are lots of good opportunities to work. Otherwise, they don't come to India because usually originally studied in USA like you. They continue to work in USA, but then reverse migration is reverse migration. They are returning home and continue with a good job. So then they are offering nice opportunity. Do you have some smart and techno cities or technology opportunities or niche market in India or niche status?
see, India is known for technology. It's like how China is for manufacturing, India is for back creation. India right now is the largest pharmaceutical manufacturer of the world. All the vaccines, technically, I think 70% of the vaccines or any medication for COVID will be made in India. So it's a proud moment for me being an Indian that is going to happen from here. That's one. But my theory is not for people from advanced countries coming to India. My theory is Indians from rural India who had a job in big cities, I want them to get back to their villages and rural India.
Mm.
That's
Okay,
my
I understand. In the old time, in the past time, some Indian developers was very successful all over the world. Especially, I heard some people at Silicon Valley is preferring to work with Indian developers, especially in very well-known companies like Apple, IBM, Intel, blah blah. So then they are hiring Indian developers because they are just at home and no problem for them. Office or home, no way. They can continue to develop technology, no doubt. So internet is available. You are free to develop something or improve something. So that's why I don't know what is the latest status right now. Are they still choosing to work with Indian developers?
yeah. You can't ignore India because we have huge heritage in technology business. But one problem area which India faces is India is not creating products. India is becoming like a manufacturing hub. Like China was making iPhones, but now China is making their own smartphones, like my Vivo, Oppo. They're competing with Samsung and iPhone. India is not doing that. India should come with their own products now. It's high
Wow,
time.
very attractive, Tawsif. So then do your government also support this kind of R&D products
See,
financially?
no, government of India is very liberal. Any government in software development, there is no restrictions of regulation to set up a company. But what has happened is people in India are more in working philosophy rather than entrepreneur. Now, what happened is there's a problem. All these people who worked in the tech industry, now they have become investors and entrepreneurs. But what happens is they don't have the DNA of an entrepreneur because they got a golden cash back because they left the company with stock options. They are creating a problem, I think. Right now, the young breed, when I'm actually doing public speaking, I'm encouraging people to create their own products rather than doing outsourcing work. Outsourcing is very lucrative. Very means it's too much money. So when too much money comes easy, you don't want to work hard.
Mm. Very very nice to hear such a nice things relating India and Indian people and Indian technology. In this pandemic term, it's very important to develop technology at home. Otherwise, service sector or service sector is a little bit down now, so that's why no doubt we are able to produce a new product, new technology, and continuously innovation. This is also my idea and my thought exactly. So then can we say that India succeed to reverse migration? India succeeded?
No, people have gone back. Government is doing something, but I'm putting a project now. I recently launched Halal Angels Network. The halal economy never had an angel network, and it was like distributed in small sectors. So I thought with Halal Angel Network, which is angel networks, and it is open to all communities, we are looking at sustainable business development. And what I'm proposing to Indian government is, last year the Indian government said $5 trillion economy by 2024. So what we are saying is 1/5 of India's population is Muslim, right? And most of them are into MSME, small contracting. We want to plug into that and get $5 trillion, $1 trillion from us. The other good thing which I'm trying to do is India's location is very brilliant. Central Asia is nearby, Gulf is nearby, Southeast Asian countries. So too many Muslim countries around. So India can become a manufacturing hub for halal products. And this can employ people who lost their jobs. So this I'm trying to propose to Government of India now.
Tausif, time is a little bit over, so thank you for your nice information and update information actually. Also nice to see you again. Thank you for broadcast. So I'm sorry, so let me switch to Turkish a little bit. Sevgili izleyiciler, bugün Dr. Tausif Malik'le birlikteydik. Hindistan ekonomisi, pazarı, girişimciliği, sponsorları, yatırımcıları ve nasıl geriye göç olduğunu konuştuk. Daha çok merak ederseniz tekrar bir araya gelip özel sorular da sorabiliriz ama şimdilik bu kadar. Dolayısıyla yayını kapatıyorum. Tekrar görüşmek üzere diyorum. Hoşça kalın.